Hello everybody, this is day 15 of the 100 Days of Coding Challenge, and today I built a coffee machine. So let's take a look at the final result of my coffee machine. Alright, so first of all, my coffee machine will ask, what would you like? So you have a selection of espresso, latte, and cappuccino. Before we choose a coffee, we can input a secret instruction to look at what ingredients we still have left. So let's put report. So we see that we have water of this amount of milk, this amount of coffee, and so far we have no money yet in our machine. Okay, so right now let's choose a type of coffee. Let's say we want latte. Okay, so it asked me to insert coins right now. So for this round, let's try to insert not enough amount of money, and let's see what the machine does. So let's say I put only 1 quarter, 1 dime, 1 nickel, 1 penny. Sorry, the money is not enough. Here is your refund. So we can see that the coffee machine decides that it's not enough money. So I got all my refunds back. Okay, so that's what happens when there's not enough money. What if we put enough money? Then let's try again. I want latte again. I'm going to put 10 quarters, 10 dimes, 10 nickels, and 10 pennies. Alright, so the coffee machine see that there's enough money. Here is your change. So I got $1.60 as my change, and I got my latte. Here's your latte, and enjoy. So that's good. Okay, so let's take a look at the report right now after we make the one coffee. Report. Alright, so we see that right now we have water 100 milliliter, which went down from the original 300 milliliter. And right now we have milk 50 milliliter from the original 200. And the coffee went down from 100 grams to 76 grams. And we have $2.50 of money in the machine. Alright, so let's take a look at a different coffee. Let's say I want to make cappuccino. Alright, the machine decides that there's not enough ingredients to make cappuccino, so it tells me, sorry, there's not enough water, and sorry, there's not enough milk. Alright, so let's try a different type of coffee that takes less ingredients. Let's say espresso. Okay, please insert coins. Again, I'm going to put 10 quarters, 10 dimes, 10 nickels, and 10 pennies. Okay, I got my change. Here's my change, and here is my espresso. Enjoy. Alright, if I put in reports one more time, I'm going to see even less ingredients because I just made 2 coffees. So we see that all the ingredients went down, and now I have $4 in my coffee machine. Okay, so now that I have 2 cups of coffee and I decide that I don't need the machine anymore, so I can turn it off. If I type off, so now the machine is turned off. Now let's take a look at the code. So starting off is the menu, and the menu is stored in Dictionaries. The menu includes 3 different types of drink, their ingredients, as well as the cost. So there's also a dictionary of resources. So this represents the amount of resources left in the coffee machine. I organized this task into 8 to-do lists. So let's go by them one by one. So first of all, I'm going to ask the customer what they would like. And I made a while loop here because, like you said, like you saw earlier, you will see that the coffee machine keep asking the customer what they want after each transaction. So I'm making continue making equals true, and while continue making, I'm going to ask the customer, what would you like? Espresso, latte, or cappuccino? And I store that input into the variable choice. To do 2. Secret off to turn off the machine. If entered the report, show everything that is left in the machine. So I'm gonna say if the choice is off, then the continue making will become false. So then they exit the while loop, and I'm going to exit the whole program altogether. Else if the choice is report, then I'm going to print out the content here in this dictionary. So I will say print for water. I'm going to access this dictionary resource and the water tab. So I'm going to print the water left. And it's the same thing for milk, coffee, and I want to print the money that the coffee machine has. So I'm going to set a new variable, money equals 0 at the beginning, and I would say print the amount of money. So for to do 3, when a drink is requested, check if resources are enough and report if not. So continuing with this if statement, for like anything else, meaning the person chose a drink, I would first figure out the amount of ingredient needed for that specific type of coffee. So I'm going to access the menu and the choice, so that specific coffee requested, so that I tap into the ingredient, and I'm going to print out I'm going to need the amount of water for that coffee chosen. So I'm going to store this into the choice water, and I'll do the same thing to figure out the choice milk and the coffee needed for that specific drink. So I'm going to next I'm going to use the if statement to figure out what to do when there's not enough ingredient. So within this else statement, I put the if statement. If the ingredient needed to make the coffee is greater than the resource available, so this is tapping into the resource dictionary for water, or the milk needed for that chosen coffee is greater than the resource we have for milk, or the coffee that we need is greater than the resource of the coffee, then if that's the case, then I'm going to print out either there's not enough water, or not enough milk, or not enough coffee, if that's the case. So I put continue here, so then it skipped this transaction, and it would continue with the second transaction. So the coffee machine will ask, what drink do you want, and let you choose again. So to do 4, if resource is enough, I'm gonna prompt to insert coins. So I'll be printing, please insert coins, and then for the quarters, dime, nickels, and pennies, I'm gonna store the input as a form of integer. To do 5, I'm going to calculate the total money received. So then I put a new variable, money received equals to the quarters, number of quarters times 0.25 plus number of dimes times 0.1, nickels times 0.05, and pennies times 0.01. So to do 6 is to decide if money is enough. So if money is enough, I will add the price money to the machine, which will be reflected on the next report. And I will also give back any changes. However, if money is not enough, I will refund the money with explanation. So if the money received is greater or equal to the price, so tapping into the menu dictionary for that specific type of coffee and the cost, if that's the case, the money will be adding. So the money originally will be adding the price of the coffee. And within this if statement, I'm gonna say if the money received is greater than the price, in this case we want to give the change, then the change will be the money received minus the price and I'm rounding this in for 2 places after the decimal point. After that, I'm gonna print, here is your change. So what if the money is not enough? Then I'll refund. So then else, I'm going to say print sorry, the money is not enough, here is your refund, and I will refund them the money that we received. And in this case, I will say continue. So I skip this loop and I'm gonna start a new transaction. To do 7, to make coffee. So if we have enough ingredient, and if the money is enough, we're gonna deduct the resources needed from the resource, and we'll give the customer the specific coffee. So for the resource, for the resource water, so this is what we have originally minus the resource needed for that specific coffee. So this is the water, this is deducting the milk, and this is deducting the coffee. And then after that, I'm gonna print, here is your coffee of choice, enjoy. To do 8, the machine will continue to make the next coffee. So this one is tackled by the while loop. So this is the coffee machine coding task.